The Scarecrow was the star of 1925's Wizard of Oz. The Tin Man was the villain. And Dorothy had about 5 minutes of real screen time. A silent slapstick comedian got a hold of L. Frank Baum's story and turned it into something so strange it barely resembles the Oz you know. 14 years before MGM painted Oz in Technicolor, a man named Larry Semin decided he would make the definitive version. He was among the top comedy stars of the silent era. His shorts were huge hits. And he was about to make the biggest mistake of his career. Semin directed it, wrote it, and cast himself as the Scarecrow. In his version, the Scarecrow is not a bumbling companion looking for a brain. He is the hero. A farmhand swept into Oz who outsmarts villains, wins the girl, and saves the kingdom. Dorothy is a princess who mostly stands there. The Tin Man was played by Oliver Hardy. Yes, that Oliver Hardy. 2 years before he teamed up with Stan Laurel and became half of the most famous comedy duo in history, Hardy was here in a tin suit, playing a henchman. His character spies on Dorothy and works for the villain. No heart, no song, just menace. The plot goes completely off the rails. Dorothy is secretly a lost princess of Oz. A scheming prime minister wants the throne. There is a coup, a love triangle, and barely any magic. The Cowardly Lion wanders in with almost nothing to do. It is less a fairy tale and more a B-movie political thriller with slapstick. It bombed. Semin had poured a fortune into elaborate sets, stunts, and costumes. Critics called it a jumbled mess. Audiences who came for Baum's whimsy got a farce. The box office did not come close to recovering the budget. The failure broke him. Within 3 years, Semin was bankrupt. His marriage to Dorothy Dwan, the film's Dorothy, fell apart. Bookings dried up. On October 8, 1928, he died in a sanitarium at the age of 39. Pneumonia and nervous exhaustion. The man who once headlined his own studio was buried in an unmarked grave that stayed empty of any stone for decades. The film vanished. For over 50 years, it was a footnote. The cheap Oz before the real Oz. While MGM's 1939 version became one of the most watched films in history, the 1925 cut gathered dust. Silent film preservation was not yet a movement, and nobody was looking for it. Here is the twist that changes everything. Because the film was published in 1925, it fell into the public domain automatically. No copyright to renew, no studio to fight for it. Anyone can screen it, copy it, or restore it. Unlike the MGM version, locked down by Warner Bros. To this day, the 1,925 ounces belongs to the world. Film historians recovered it in the 1980s, and what they found was more than a curiosity. It was a time capsule. The sets were genuinely elaborate for 1925. The stunts were daring. And Semin's physical comedy, the thing that made him a star, still lands. You can see why audiences once loved him. The centerpiece is a sequence where Semin's Scarecrow builds a flying machine out of an automobile, a propeller, and what appears to be pure defiance. He soars above the Emerald City in this ridiculous contraption. It is absurd. It is also exactly the kind of inventive visual comedy that made silent film great. Dorothy Dwan, Semin's real wife at the time, plays Dorothy with genuine sincerity. The script gives her almost nothing to work with, but when she is on screen, she has the same wide-eyed earnestness that later made Judy Garland immortal. A different universe, a different Dorothy, a different fate. Larry Semin's grave finally got a headstone in 2013. Silent film fans raised the money. The inscription is simple. Larry Semin, 1889 to 1928, comedian. He was the man who bet everything on Oz, lost, and accidentally gave us the strangest public domain treasure in American film history. The next time someone tells you The Wizard of Oz is a perfect film, tell them about the one where the Scarecrow flew a car over the Emerald City and the Tin Man was a thug. It is real. It is free. If you enjoyed this deep dive, follow The Real Vault. We find the films that slip through the cracks and bring them back one strange story at a time.